Good morning, everyone. Why am I still giant? There we go. Oh, here we go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Happy Thursday. Oh, that's why we were doing that one. Which one do you like better, Gladiator Guru? You like that one or do you like that one? Which one?
Which one we've been using?
We've been using this one, but prior to that, we were always doing the other one. I like this one because when we want to put a banner, it doesn't block us. What do you think? Versus this. Here we go.
I don't know. We should take a poll.
I'm saying for me, I'm not in the mood for the in your face one so much this morning. I'm feeling
That's what I noticed when I was rewatching the videos, how tiny we look with this one, but we could leave it like this. I also don't feel like, I still feel half asleep.
Oh my goodness. Well, good morning, Gwen and Argenis. We haven't seen Argenis in a while, so good morning.
Hola, Henny, Gwen.
So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Happy Thursday, November 3rd. We are moving right along, just moving closer and closer to the end of the year. And so that is, we are doing what we're doing for November. We are talking about gratitude. We're talking about role models, inspirational role models. Connie's in the house too. Good morning, Connie.
Hey, Sissy.
So
I love mi familia.
I am the Badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, coming to you from a beautiful fall or autumn Southern Connecticut. So good morning. Good morning, Gladiator Guru.
Good morning, mi gente. Buenos días. It is almost full sunrise here, and es jueves, puñeta, in Tampa, Florida. I woke up a bit chilly. I got a cold, that's why. But hey, I am happy to be here this Thursday morning.
In her pearls.
In her pearls.
Yep. How's the temperature? Do you know what the temperature over where you are is?
It feels cool, but it's the AC. But I'm gonna tell you right now. Right now in Tampa, 73.
Wow.
With the high of 84.
Now, is the humidity a little bit better this time of the year?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. You still feel it's humid.
Yeah, because it was high. It's 95%, 10% chance of rain, 95% humidity.
Okay.
It's hot.
It is 40. I think it's 44 degrees here right now. So it's chilly. High today is supposed to be 64.
Oh, that's good. Oh, Arlene and Darlene Kelly are on.
Darlene, good morning.
I miss the 4 seasons. I meet a lot of snowbirds here, and some have been here for a long time, and they absolutely love the idea of never having to deal with winter or snow. I'm not saying that I totally disagree with them, because it gets cold and depressive, but I think when we're 4 season born and then we come here, it don't matter how long you're here, it's still depressing during Christmas time for everybody, because every time I ask about it, because Christmas should always be cold. Thanksgiving should always be, scarves and boots and a thick coat all the way into after New Year. And you don't get that here. So that right there makes you homesick, even though you hate home because of the winter. And I think it's mindset stuff. But when you were born and raised, and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's being cold as hell, I don't care how long you live away from home. It's still that, oh my God, it's Thanksgiving. Why is it 85 degrees out? Like, you don't want to eat turkey. What's the big deal to eat that? Yeah, so here we are.
It
Um,
messes with you mentally, is what you're saying.
it does,
Yeah.
because you want to throw on, you know, a sweater and a scarf, and then the bottom half is, shorts or skirts and flip flops. Like your whole body, mind, spirit is confused.
Yeah, I hear you. Um, I think for some people, I guess they just get very tired of the winters, maybe a break from them. But I agree with you. It's, how many times have you watched one of those Hallmark Christmases? Do they ever film in Florida? I think they might have had one movie in Florida, but it's always quote New England, although they film in Canada. That's the irony of it, is that it's filmed in Canada.
You
But
know what's funny? You're absolutely right. But do you know when there's a Hallmark movie, and I'm with people who watch Hallmark because I used to love it, but I never watched the ones. It's so funny you're saying that because that's when you think of it. I never watched the ones that are filmed like in Hawaii. Like there's been a couple Christmases. I think somebody was in the army and somebody went to take um photographs, and it was in Hawaii. But I won't watch it because Christmas isn't real unless it's cold. That sort of deal. But yeah, they always. I started watching Christmas movies on November 1st because for a Puerto Rican, that's the beginning of Christmas. Christmas music, pasteles are gonna be starting to get made. For the first batch comes in Thanksgiving. I mean, it's a whole process. And I want some coquito without egg.
oh, coquito. Sweet though. I want to try to make it so that it's not as sweet. True enough. I'm a big fan of putting my Christmas. I love putting the Christmas tree up early. Um, and then, but I'm funny because I love taking it down like literally the next day after Christmas.
We wait until
I'm
after Three
done.
Kings Day.
Oh no, I know. And this Italians are the same way. They usually wait till what's called Little Christmas, which is probably the same. It has to do with the kings. It's in January. But I don't know. When I'm done with Christmas, I'm done. I like the build up, but then once it's done, I'm done. I want that. I usually use the day after Christmas as the day I take the tree down.
Oh no, I love Christmas until Christmas Day. I love all the prepping and decorating
Yep,
and
me
being
too.
wowed by the people's fixtures
Yep,
and the movies, and
yep.
they all end up in a small town meeting up with the next or falling in love with the handyman, and I love it. I mean, it's always the same plot, but it's they're beautiful. And no, I would we would always put the tree up a week before Thanksgiving, all the way till after Three Kings Day. And I miss that. I miss those traditions. I, you're making me sad, so let's change the subject. Hello to everybody who has come on while we've been having this. Because you know what? I think it invokes happy memories, just the thought of Christmas.
Hmm.
And so I hope everybody has a jingle in their step since November 1st and anticipate with joy the holidays to come, because that means family time. And if remember, family doesn't have to be blood related. And let's start killing that stigma, that you know that actual statistics that the holidays are depressing and that it's high suicidal rate. Let's just stop. And if we know somebody who's alone, let's invite them. Let's invite them to be a part of our family this holiday. Let's do something different this year. Let's be inclusive with the people that we know have no one, or they're new to the city, or we just met them at work, but we also know they eat alone. Just extend yourself. Let's just go out on a whim here and try to put smiles on people's faces this next holiday season that's quickly approaching us, because I feel like everything's going like fast forward.
Fun.
Or is it me?
No, it is. It's going very fast. We have a lot of people jumping on this morning, and we're so happy. So good morning. Who did we miss so far? Milagros came on. Good morning, Milag. Tiffany came on. Desiree came on. We haven't seen her in a while. Good morning, Desiree. And she said she's talking about she loves to put her tree up early, and it's definitely thank you for lifting my spirits. It pulled me right up. And Diana Negron is on. So Diana's in the house, and look at I love that idea, Margie. Very good. Yes, very nice, right?
Hola, mi gente. Yes, Milagritos, Iritza, Desiree. You know,
Milagritos.
so good. Diana Negron. I know you're a busy woman with that journal of hope. And, you know, I have to say, when I heard Carmen and Badass Buddha discussing it on Connecticut TV that they were on, it just, I hope it reaches. I hope it reaches the ears of every prominent person who forgot that they used to love to journal as children or doodle in notebooks, because that brought them like that happiness right there. And I hope it reaches so that you will always have an abundance of journals, because there's so many in need of just that. So
I
I'm proud of
agree.
you girls for that. And I'm tired. I don't feel well. Toss and turn mostly all night because I don't feel well. It's like a clogged here. But you know what? I just feel like I woke up loving life this morning.
Yes.
So you know what? Let's just make that a point today. And no matter what tries to come up and pinch us in the ass or slap us in the cheek, say like, "Oh, there you are. Whoo, that tickled," and keep going. That should be on top of everything else we're going to discuss about Tuesday's conversation. So we're going to set our intentions.
Do our mantra and let's get busy. All right. So let's set our intention. Our intention on Viva Cafe con Leche is to be intentional.
And grateful.
Intentional and grateful. Set your intention for whatever it is today. You can set it throughout your day. And behind that,
Gratitude. I thought you were practicing for a wizard spot on something.
no, I was trying to mix it up a little bit, but we're both not feeling well, so we're off on our cues. You ever notice when you have like snot, especially head colds, you're like so spacey, it's ridiculous. So anyway, and I love what Diana put. She put the little praying hands, very nice. And now our mantra, okay? The mantra is important. Whether you say it loudly or quietly or to yourself, it doesn't matter. But you have to live those words. And anytime that you're feeling some sort of way during the day, just go back to the mantra, because that's who we are. That's who Viva is. That's who the tribe is. That's who Gladiator Guru and Badass Buddha are. But that's who you are. So here we go. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I am beyond authentic.
And I keep it real, baby girl.
So that is, especially with what we're talking about this month, November is National Gratitude Month, and it's National Inspirational Role Models Month. And we're going to be intertwining that throughout the month. We started with gratitude on Tuesday. We're working through gratitude today. Today is titled, What Am I Grateful For? And we're going to encourage you to put into the comments what you are grateful for, because we threw down a challenge to you. And we had the 32-day gratitude challenge, and I should still have it here. Did I say 32-day? The 30-day. I think I said 32. The Viva 30-day gratitude challenge, which started on November 1st. You can catch up if you haven't started it. It's totally fine. And you are going to, every day, you're going to write 5 things that you are grateful for. If you already do this and this is part of your practice, then it's a no-brainer. You're already doing it. You're going to pick 3 people that you are grateful for, and you're going to tell them So who did you tell that you are grateful for? Do at least one act of kindness per day. Okay. It could be a random act. It could be an act of kindness towards somebody that you know, somebody that you are already working with, or family member, doesn't matter. But this is what we're going to do every single day. So today's conversation should be easy because you've already been writing down your gratitude of what you're grateful for. So we're going to encourage you to put into the comments what you're grateful for. Okay. And don't hold back, think about a bunch of things. It says write 5 things down, but it doesn't have to be 5. You could write more. But sometimes people get stuck. I know when I was doing the book, The Magic by Rhonda Burns, it's a 30, I think it's 28 days. And it's a challenge, and you have to do these exercises. You read it each day, you read a piece of the book, and then you do the work at the end of that little section. And sometimes it's a lot of work, but every single day you're writing what you're grateful for, and you're writing about, I think it's 10 things that you're grateful for. So some people just get like a little overwhelmed. We're not wanting you to get overwhelmed, but if you could find more than 5, feel free to write it in there, right? So let's see, we already have some stuff coming up. Look what Gwen says. I'm grateful for life, just waking up every day. Look, so Milagros agrees with you. I'm grateful for my life and my kids. Absolutely.
And don't be overwhelmed. I hear a lot of people say that, oh, that's just too overwhelming. Or this is just, why? I'm sure there's a lot of people who get overwhelmed over certain things. And, I'm using discernment here. Take a deep breath. Practice taking deep breaths. Even if you start off with 1 a day, whenever it is that you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath. And then slowly let it out. Yes. Because the deep breath does so much for your brains, and people forget. I text my daughter a couple times a week. I text her, remember to take a deep breath. Stop what you're doing. And then she's like, Mommy, I don't remember to take deep breaths throughout the day. I'm doing this or I'm this. And I said, Tip, she says, I don't do it on purpose. I just don't remember. And I was about to say something like, what the fuck? But then I didn't. And then I read up that people do forget to breathe. So I said, do what the people who have dementia going into Alzheimer's do for themselves. And if you read this, they put stickies on their mirrors that reminds them to breathe. And sometimes we need reminders, right? No matter how your day goes. So if you don't remember on your own to take a deep breath, remind yourself. We put stuff in our calendars, how we have to show up for someone else. Well, put the damn thing in your calendar and let it go beep, 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 beep every 5 hours or something to remind you to take a deep breath. We got to remind ourselves to be grateful that you have breath. But then it's true, not a lot of people do until it hurts. And then let it out. I'm a smoker. I do 3 of those deep breaths that hurt my chest every night so that nothing is in my lungs as I sleep, and it hurts. And then I do them in the morning just to make sure everything is out. And it hurts. But you know what? The cure for the pain is in the pain. You want to heal something, you got to feel the pain. If you're always running and trying to hide from the pain, then what are you truly ever healing? What are you truly grateful for? You got to fall and scrape your knee to get up and be grateful to learn how to ride that fucking bike better, right? It's a process. So be that revolution of awareness in your own life. So do 5 or plus things you're grateful for. And it's just as simple as what Gwen said and what Milagro said. It's that simple.
Yep.
It's not overthink it.
Diana even gave the journal queen over here gave she said you can write the answer in bullets. So when you say what am I grateful for, just write it in a bullet. Keywords. You don't have to do a full sentence unless you feel like you need to, but it could be 1, 2, 3 words. It doesn't have to be something really, really long. So I'm definitely grateful for my bestie over here. I'm definitely grateful for Gladiator Guru. I am grateful for life. I agree with Milagros. My life. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my life and life in general. Like Gwen said, I'm definitely grateful for my health. I am a very, very healthy individual. Aside from this little head cold that I have, I hardly ever get sick. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I don't wake up with pain on a daily basis. And if there is a little bit, it usually resides within, a short time after moving around. I'm grateful for my children. I love my kids dearly. I'm grateful that my oldest met a phenomenal young man and she's going to be marrying next year. I'm grateful for hearts. I love hearts. I actually have hearts on today. I have hearts on my shirt. I have hearts on my necklace because they make me happy when I see a heart. I'm grateful for this weather. I love the fall. I'm looking out at the pond across the street, and there's smoke, like fog, steam coming up or whatever, from because the pond is, I guess, warmer than the outside, and it just looks so pretty through the leaves. There's a lot of leaves have fallen from the trees, but there's still some on there. So um, there's so many things that we can be grateful for, and the problem is, I think, is that we just don't allow ourselves to be.
No. See, the human mind does not think a negative thought first. It's always a positive, but then we add in the negative. Just be grateful. That's it. Just wake up that you can see the sunrise. Even if you lost your job and the bills are piling up, but you get to wake up, open your eyes, and actually see the sun rising, feel the warmth on your presence, get up and walk and brush your teeth. And we must show gratitude for the little things, because the little things is what adds up. They create their staircase to your next stop. So are you going to run up the staircase and miss every lesson that every step teaches you? And that's why you're in the position you're in now? Or are you going to tread with wow, with wow, that you could lift one leg over the other and stand firm on each step, because each step has a lesson to teach. But if you take each step in gratitude that you're even able to bend that knee and lift up your body with that one leg to have the other leg on the step, break it down. It might seem stupid, but break it down. When we break down everything like that, you're like, oh, wow, I know that's true. How many people have had knee surgery? They can't lift up without the help of something. Me, I was walking with a cane on Tuesday because my leg hurt so bad. So when each step, it just reminds you of how wonderful you are and how intentional you are to get to that next step, and then be amazed at what that next step is going to add to your life until you get to the other one. It's always about the staircase of life, staircase towards heaven, towards hope, towards, infinite love and eternal life. That stairs, if you don't believe in God or in heaven, that staircase is still something you are creating. You are really working towards to lift up, to leave a legacy. It's still going to speak about you after you're no longer here, about the way you climbed that staircase called your life. So why not do it in gratitude? Why not be kind to everyone you meet? Well, they don't have to respond to you. I've dealt with that lately at my new job. Did I tell everybody? Did I let all of you in on a secret? There's a reel that I absolutely love, and I've taken as like a foster kid right now, because I'm using it until a new one comes out. But it says, darling, I was not born to labor, because that's how I feel. But it's teaching me so much. The badass Buddha, and I had a very long conversation yesterday, and it was, what are you learning from me? And so then sometimes you just need to hear somebody ask you the question that you've already been answering. But it's funny how we answer questions that someone needs to ask. So it just like stays there floating until somebody asks and you're like, wait, what? And then it's like, oh, this is why. And you say it with such confidence. Be grateful and show up for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So keep putting it in there. We're asking the tribe to say what they're grateful for, to put that in there. And I want to put back up what Diana wrote. And good morning, Wanda. We see you. Good morning, Wanda Stover. Gratitude practice increases abundance and the opportunity to receive. Absolutely. You know, when we focus on the negative pieces of our lives, when we focus on what's not working, what sucks, what's going wrong, we send out that vibrational energy, and then it just keeps happening. We just keep attracting it, rather than saying, you know, I'm very grateful for this, even when your life is really not in a good, your life is not working in the way you need it to work or you want it to work. There's still something that you can be grateful for, you know. Sometimes I'll watch a show, like, you know, yesterday I was just doing some busy work and I had a show on in the background, and it was talking about like a really awful subject. It was talking about human trafficking, and it was a TV show. It was just, that was the plot of that particular show. But I'm listening to it in the background, and I'm going, you know, and what they were doing was they were taking women who were in shelters that were, you know, single moms that had a child or two, and they were bumping them up to the list. They weren't even putting them on the list. They were giving them a place to live, and in exchange, they had to be a prostitute. And they weren't told that when they got in there. They were put into that, and they put this beautiful place to live, like they were the saviors, that they were going to do this, and then they baited and switched, and the woman had to be a prostitute. And now, granted, it was a show, but, you know, a lot of these shows are based on, you know, real life situations and so on and so forth. And we'd be naive to think that this stuff doesn't happen. And I started to think about it. I'm like, you know, I'm grateful that I have a place to live. I'm grateful that I'm not homeless. I'm grateful that I'm not in a situation where um, I'm desperate. The bottom line for that show was that the one woman, she didn't want any trouble. She didn't like what she was doing, but her son was so happy in that house, in the apartment that they were in, and it was a beautiful place. And she did not want to. She wanted the best for her son, and she was willing to sacrifice what she was, you know, her own values to make sure that her son was safe. And she says, I'm not going back in the shelter, because they would threaten that. They would say, well, if you say anything, you're going to go back into the shelter. And she didn't want to go. And I started to think about, I'm grateful for the fact that I am the person that I am, and I'm grateful that I have the abilities, not as much as I want at this point, but I have the ability to help other people. I don't have a huge financial ability right now, but at some point I will, and I would love to help people. So it's like, I just look at that and say, God, things could be so much worse. So when I sit and complain, or I'm upset about something, things could be so much worse. So I am grateful for what I have.
As we should, you know, every little thing is for gratitude. I think when you are grateful for what you have, it paves the way to be kind and grateful to everyone you meet. Again, since the beginning of the year, my favorite word this year, and one that I practice,
Excuse me.
if I catch myself unpracticing discernment, then I'm like, oh my God, okay, I didn't study for this test today. So I'm not harsh on myself, but I put myself back where I should have been, because, you know, it's so easy to judge, especially when we don't know, especially when we listen to different people talking about the same thing, and all of a sudden we're on their bandwagon instead of researching. When you have more than 5 people talking about one person, then something's wrong with the 5 people. You know, it's not always the one person. So be grateful with what you have and what you are capable of doing. And then show that grace to people you come upon, whether it be with a smile, a simple hello, an acknowledgement, because we never know what's going on with that other person. You know, I recently as I mentioned, lost a cousin that I really loved, and I'm always grateful that I always answer the phone for my kids. My kids are grown, but I don't care if I'm at work. I don't care if I'm having a coaching client. I don't care if I'm engaged in something. When my phone rings and it's my children, and this has been forever, I'll answer. If I am busy, if I'm on the other line, I'll answer. I'm like, hey, everything okay? Dios te bendiga. They're like, yeah. What are you doing? Listen, can I call you right back? You don't need anything right now? And then I go back to my car. I go back to my conversation. But I never not answer. Because what is life? What is the balance of life? It is death. So while we have life, for the limited time that each of us have life, share it in gratitude. But you're going to have off days. You're not going to want nobody bothering you sometimes. But you know what? Enjoy the fact that you are alive today, that your loved ones are near you, that you can call, that you can FaceTime. Because life is about being of service to humanity. You know, I'm a believer in God, Jesus Christ. That's what I pray. I don't care who agrees with me or not. That's not my business. But, I'm grateful for every day. And before my feet hit the floor, I'm giving gratitude to God for another day for me to do better. And then I say, you know, today I will do better than I did yesterday, whether it's an act of kindness, whether it's reaching out to someone I haven't in a while and they've been on my mind, saying, hello, I was thinking about you. You know how many people put that beautiful smile on when you say those simple words and mean it? Oh my God, I was thinking about you. I like to tell people, I'll call them out the blue. They're like, oh, look at you. Haven't heard from you. And I was like, you know what? You danced across my thoughts today. How are you? And that's gratitude to humanity. Because you know what? We all need a phone call like that. We all need somebody to call and say, I was thinking about you today. How are you? Or I would listen to a song and I remember this and you remember that. That's gratitude. So it's not about paying somebody's coffee in the car behind you. That's beautiful. Never happened to me. So I think I'm going to have to initiate that because we had that conversation on Tuesday. And I always thought that was beautiful. So I'm going to initiate it. It's about just reaching out, a human touch, a human connection, whether somebody you speak to every day. I'll call people out the blue and I was like, oh my God, remember that time we went here and I fell and we did this or you fell and you know what? Somebody just laughter is healing. So it's when you do positive things, and positive things can be just calling out of the blue. It can just say, I love you. It can be like, and I apologize because sometimes I come here and Diana says, both of you ladies have given so much of yourselves to help us just by being here. Thank you, Desiree. We love it. No matter, you notice if we're tired, sick, or what, we come on. It's my own. The practice has blessed my life. Yes, Diane. Diana Negron. Yes, and I love it. I love it. Thank you, Desiree. Oh, milagros, my list, my job, my friends, my nieces, my angels, and my mother. And that's beautiful because what are you grateful for? I was grateful for the time that I was given to care for my mom. When I brought her to live with me in Florida, it was just she and I for a year. She lasted a year. And I am always, that gratitude is always at the top of my list. Is having that time with my mom. If you have your mom, if you have your dad, give them a call today. Remind them you love them. Stop by, kiss them on the forehead, hug them. Remember when you were little and your parents would give you Dios te bendiga, or they would just kiss you on the forehead? You felt like you had that superhero cape on and you can dive off the window and go out there and do whatever, ride your bike. It's powerful. Do that. And Milagros, thank you for reminding me. Because you know what? My mother was presently absent for the most part of my life, but I was present in her life when she needed me the most the last year, and it healed me the most. So, life is a give and take. That's the balance of life. What's the balance of life? Death. When you give something, you receive something. When you receive something, you give something. That's how it is. The basic rules of life we were taught in kindergarten, mi gente. It's not that difficult. Oh, Virginia. Mira, my cousin's on. Hold on. Prima, if you're on, I'm sorry. This is what normally the badass Buddha does. Virginia Bowen. Yes, Prima. Are you still in Bridgeport? No. So yeah, to me that's my gratitude list, and it gets emotional when you think about things, but then when you get emotional and you feel alone, look over to the next person and smile. It's free. It's so free, but it's so rich in nutrients, isn't it? Think of smile as you would a salad or something that really is good for you. A smile heals you in your darkest moments. Not that fake shit, but when you have a thought and you smile out loud, that does something to you. Imagine you smiling to somebody who looks sad or looks afraid or doesn't like to be out in public or surrounded by people they don't know. Think what that smile is going to do for someone else. Because life isn't about me, me, me. It's about, this feels good. I'm filled with light. I'm filled with gratitude. I'm filled with good intentions. So you know what that feels like. Breathe it in, feel it, be grateful that you have breath in you to be able to love your kids, to be able to love everything else around you. But first, it starts with you. And when you feel that gratitude within, then you intentionally, without a thought, are sharing that gratitude through smiles, through acts of kindness, like holding a door open just because you fucking felt like it. Not because you expect someone to say thank you or you expect someone to acknowledge you. Just because you saw people walking out, somewhere you're walking in and you got to the door first, so you're holding it open. So those are the simple acts of kindness you can give that always comes like a boomerang and comes right back to you. You know what they say? What's that phrase, badass? Um, you get what you give, but no, it's not the one. It's something like that. What's that quote? My mind is foggy.
I don't know. I don't know which one you're doing. Leave me more.
Know what I'm thinking? Know what I'm thinking? For those with with much comes meaning when you have a lot. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to get that quote, but we'll talk. Whoa. What am I doing? Meaning the responsibility you are given when you have a lot, when life has given you an abundance of something, whether it's money or for many with much.
I don't know. I'm just as spacey as you are, so I can't I can't think of it myself. Listen to that one. That one's good. Migdalia. Morning, ladies. I'm grateful to have another day to do things I didn't do yesterday. Oh, I like that. I really like that.
Hi, Maggie. Oh, to whom much is given, much will be required. So, what is that? And that's people think, oh, I'm not going to share. I work hard for this. You can have a bank full of thousands of millions of dollars. You don't have to share that because is that really wealth? What you can give, you know what it is to have. What you can give is kindness, is acknowledgement. It's accepting people where they are at that moment without judgment. That really is giving of yourself. Stop trying to change and coordinate someone else's life. Just show up and allow them to do the same. That's you giving much. That's being grateful to be surrounded by people that you know or are just meeting or may never see again. It's being present in your moment and being kind. And that's gratitude for who you are, that you can welcome everybody into your moment. But yeah, that's a Bible thing, scripture. So, whom much is given, much will be required. If you have heard the line wisdom, you know it means we are held responsible for what we have and how we share it. That's it. Badass Buddha, your turn.
I'm sorry. I go through these stages where I just all of a sudden get real tired. Haven't even been doing all that much. What did I do this morning? I'm tired.
Well, you know what? And sometimes that is that right there is being grateful that you can acknowledge something's wrong. When we pretend nothing is wrong and that we don't feel sick, what happens? Nunca te engañe. Like my father said, don't lie to yourself. Nunca te engañe. If you don't feel good, say it. I don't feel good, but I'm going to get better. Or, you know what? I'm under the weather right now. Let me be grateful that you can take the measures to brew some tea, to put some Vicks on your nose. You know, simple remedies that work.
Yes, she's a big fan of Vicks. So I think you're grateful for Vicks, right?
I'm very grateful for Vicks Vapor Rub. Got to love your neighbors, you love yourself. Amen. That's my cousin, Virginia, from, I think, Atlanta, she's at. Reconnected with old family and old stories, yeah. And at the airport, but I'm grateful for my family. I have a huge first cousin network family. And yesterday was my cousin's wake. And I was a part of it on through FaceTime, some of it. And then everybody went to my sister's house. And I just wish that I could have been there, even as a spectator, to see cousins who came in, who flew in from Georgia, some that came in from Massachusetts, you know. And it's unfortunate that we normally come together, speaking from a Puerto Rican family point of view, that we normally come together. We make a shift in our life, in our schedule, when someone dies. And when someone says,
you're
"Oh,
right.
you're coming down for the holidays," "Oh, I can't because I gotta work," or "These kids have this," and we make all these excuses, and not to offend anybody, because everything has to be planned. But then when someone dies, it's like there's a big gap in the schedule. I'm there because you show up for family. Well, death is at all of our doors, so let's make it a habit to call out more often if we're far away from home. To send a text message like I do to my kids. Even my kids are grown, but I'll send, and my niece, I'll send them a group message sometimes in the morning that says, "Morning fuckers," or, something that's going to make them laugh whenever they open it up. I like to send funny memes with good mornings and or breathe today, or what, let it hang. Meaning don't let anything stop you. Don't let your own thoughts stop you from being great today. So I do that and I send them out to them. And sometimes I don't remember and I'll do it in the afternoon, but I'm always reaching out, because we all know our kids are our lifeline. I want my kids to know happiness in the midst of darkness. And that's what we got to teach and be grateful for and accept in our lives. That the equal amount of sun, there's the darkness that follows, So what do you do in between? Not everybody sleeps when it's dark outside. And not everybody enjoys going out in the sun during the day. So figure out who you are, embrace it, be intentional with everything you want to do, and show gratitude as you're doing it. That's how simple it is.
Yep, it is.
We we get all the comments because I'm not good at this. I told them if
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
for you, I
Yeah.
wouldn't like nobody would ever.
I've been putting them up.
I'm
And
grateful for the badass Buddha because she's always on it when it comes to saying thank you to the people who don't say, "Hey, I'm on your show," but they pop up on the in the comments on our phones, and she's so quick to acknowledge them. Not me. I'm a storyteller. I'm just gonna sit here and talk. But she's like on it, telling stories, writing up the steps to be grateful for, and thanking everybody who's just showing up without saying I'm here, which we're grateful for anyway, because you stopped, you clicked on our show, and you're listening.
yeah,
We are honored to have you on.
yes, we are.
And I'm honored that this lady over here, the badass, is so quick to and keen. I don't know where she has her phone set up that she can see all of this because we can't see it on the StreamYard. So thank you, because everybody should get acknowledged wherever it is they're standing, whether you're wearing Gucci or you're wearing Goodwill. It's all the same to me.
Yes,
Be
I agree.
authentic.
I
Don't
agree.
be a follower. Don't follow the masses blindly. Be authentic. If you're Goodwill, I love Goodwill, or you're Gucci, I'm gonna embrace you the same. Well, because your Gucci costs more than Goodwill, I'm supposed to hug you an extra 3 minutes. I don't know how that works, so I'm gonna hug you all the same. You're all gonna get French fries.
I think there's an interesting thing going on with gratitude these days. You see it everywhere. It's often mentioned on social media. It's often talked about, to the point where sometimes I think it's in your face that people get like opposed to it. But rather than getting overwhelmed by, oh, you have to be grateful, you have to do this, or blah blah blah, you just have to sit quietly. It's so simple. It's very, very simple. You just have to go back and think about what you are grateful for specifically. It's nothing to do with anybody else. Nobody has to hear it. You could say it to yourself, you could say it out loud sitting quietly. It does not have to be something that's hard. And I remember when I was going through my, when I was ending that 6 month long depression, one of the things that I kept doing is I would talk about, like, I would say what I was grateful for. I would say it out loud if I was in a space by myself, or I would say it to myself, but I did it more than once. I would wake up and say what I was grateful for. And then if I felt myself shifting into a really bad space, or if I was getting angry about something or upset, I would catch myself. And then I would start saying, okay, I would take a breath in. And then I'd say, what am I grateful for? And then I would answer the question and I would say the sentence. And it made such a difference. And I did it multiple times a day. It wasn't like just that one time. It was when I needed it. So I made the habit of saying it at the beginning of my day, um, at the end of my day before I went to sleep, but then during the day as I felt it needed to be done. You
I have
know,
a question
yeah.
because you said that you don't need to say it out loud. Just feel it and think it. For those people that are new at this, or for those people that have still not deeply cultivated the self trust in themselves, would you say that to hold themselves accountable to what they're thinking, that they should verbalize it to themselves so that it can retract back into their ears and be more, oh, okay.
Oh, it's definitely more powerful that way for
I
sure, and
think
I would
holding
recommend,
yourself accountable,
or writing.
because I feel that you have to be true to who you are and not lie to yourself. But when we only think it, then we're we bombard ourselves with thoughts and schedules in our head. I got to do this, I got to do that. But if you say it out loud, now you got to hold yourself accountable. Oh my God,
Yes.
I am grateful. What am I grateful for? Maybe that I put my panties on right side in instead of inside out. I mean, start off with small, make yourself laugh, enjoy yourself during this gratitude season. If that's not a test in itself, I don't know what is. Look in the mirror and begin to fall in love with yourself. But let's start by accepting where we are. Um, the badass Buddha and I went through many changes in our personal lives that we chose. And the road wasn't easy just because we made these decisions to better our lives, correct?
Yep.
Badass? So you know what? We say it out loud. And when we say it out loud, you're opening the doors for people's opinions who you're talking to. And yesterday, she was saying something to me, and because we're back and forth, we're each other's coaches. So she goes, I want to say this, and please just let me say it to the end, and just to get it out, and because she knows she's learned me, where she's patient and listen. I'm like, but what do you mean? So she said that, and I was like, oh. So I caught myself, and whatever I was gonna say, I still said it. Like, oh, why didn't you talk to me about that? Maybe I said it in a lower tone because sometimes when I can think, my Italian and Puerto Rican brains come together and figure, okay, just say hello, you know. But that is a dialogue. That is a great conversation. That is being grateful for one another in our moments where we had so much on our minds. We added everything that we were thinking we need to touch base on, and some fell to the wayside. But I never think a decision is a bad decision. There's never a one-way street or a wrong street or too much traffic that you take a detour. I think we are always where we're supposed to be. What we're not doing is being present in those moments. When you're present in your moments and you are grateful for whether it is a flat tire or no traffic in your lane.
Yep.
Whenever I'm like speeding or going too fast because the road is clear and I just feel like I love the wind caressing my cheek and blowing my hair and all that good shit, and someone gets in front of me and they're driving slow and you're like, what? Then I think, oh, I'm being protected for something. And then you go like half a mile, you're driving, and there was like this big accident that had that car got in front of you to slow you down. You would have been a part of it. Pay attention. And you can do that in gratitude. And you can do that being kind, and especially to yourself. So when the badass Buddha and I have these long hour conversations, I have a great takeaway from it. I hope she does, but I know for me, I have a great takeaway because her voice is lower. It's calmer, it's nicer. And so, there's a yin yang to everything in life. So when you meet people, just be grateful you're meeting them. Out of all the 7 billion people in the world, you're meeting, whether they're assholes or angels, you're still meeting
Yeah, I
them for a
agree.
purpose.
I agree with
There's
that.
a
Even if they
reason.
are.
So be grateful in that. Be grateful that you have the eyes to see, the nose to smell, the voice to speak when you're meeting new people, the ears to listen, because people aren't always who they say, but they are always who they seem. So pay attention to everything they're not saying. And then everybody has a takeaway. We're not perfect. We can be the asshole in that story today. Something might be happening. And so just meet people where they are so they can meet you where they are, and be grateful for the life that you have. And in that gratitude, start building your staircase to where you need to be, but there were so many obstacles, and do it with a smile, and prep every step according to you and your life, meaning your children, your spouse, you and your life. Set that foundation that every step you take will be unbreakable because it is the steps of your destiny. And do it in gratitude and do it with intention. I can't build that staircase for you. Shit, I'm still on step number 3. You can start today and be on number 10 because our life destiny is taking us in a way that each of us has a story to tell. So don't skip any pages. Tell your story. Say it correctly. Say it with truth. And let it flow as it should. And each step gets built in gratitude, with intention, and you're spreading kindness. That's
Very
it.
nice.
That's all I
Wonderful.
got.
Good. That sounds wonderful. So
Are you into this conversation, Badass
I
Buddha?
am. I'm just really. I didn't sleep. I haven't been sleeping well anyway. But last night was pretty bad. So I'm grateful that I have the flexibility in my schedule today that I could rest a lot more if I absolutely need to. And I feel like I'm gonna have to because I'm so spacey.
I
I
think
think
you
I'm
should go and take a nap right
I
now.
think I'm spacier today than I was the last couple of days. But just a reminder, everybody, that we have the Viva 30-day gratitude challenge. Don't forget. And what we're asking you to do is on a daily basis, write 5 things that you are grateful for. Pick 3 people that you are grateful for and tell them. And do at least one act of kindness, whether it's for somebody that you know, or somebody that you don't know. It could be as simple as going through the drive-through and buying the person behind you a cup of coffee, or if you're in line, buying the person behind you a cup of coffee, or whatever. you know um so it's a great way to start to shift our energies for the month of November, as we are heading towards the end of the year. The end of the year is coming, new things are happening, and December will be the month that we take stock in everything. And so wouldn't it be nice for you to take stock in the fact that you took the time in November to really think about what you're grateful for, and be and do those acts of kindness, and be discerning, and all these things that are going to set the tone for you and shift your energy. And then looking at December as the all possibilities, anything, things could be possible. Oh, we got a new
Everything is possible.
Tata
Hi,
says every
Tata.
day I wake up, I think it's just giving me another day, and I pay for everybody in the world. We're in the lost one.
That's fine. Yes, Tata. And thank you for writing that. And you know what I'm grateful for? I have many brothers from different mothers, but their siblings, like Tata, is we share a brother. And what I'm grateful for is the way my father, who we all know was an alcoholic and a recreational weekend, like to try drugs, but he loved all his kids in a way that only we would appreciate. And he taught us to always be one, no matter what mother we came from. We all. And so my brother's siblings have become our adopted siblings. And so Tata is my brother Mojeto's sister, and then my cousin Tata, um, who said she was at the airport. I'm grateful today that she has connected on Viva because I've never seen her on Viva. Thank you. So it's a whole bunch of, you know, gratitude. I'm grateful that Diana Negron took the time out to be on today.
Yes.
It's I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for when you share online. You take the time to type in Iritza, I love you all. I love my Viva tribe. And the Badass Buddha and I were talking yesterday about how we arrange our schedule. We didn't even know we were doing that until we discussed it yesterday. How we make plans that will not hinder our Viva time slot.
Yep.
And when I said it yesterday about working from home, and then I'm like, but I can't because they expect you to start work between 7 and 8 in the mornings. And then how am I supposed to be on Viva? And I was like, wow. And then Lori mentioned something about a decision she made due to how it would affect Viva. And so I'm like, wow. Um, how important is Viva? It's really important. It's life altering. It's life changing. It is that sunlight on that rainy gray day. That's what Viva is, but it's just not the badass and I. It's everybody who takes the time out every Tuesday and Thursday between 8 and 9 to come on, to listen, to share and bring other people on. Because you know what? It takes one of us to impact one other person's life that then they will impact the next person's life. And
Yeah.
that's what life and living in gratitude is all about. And
Yeah.
half the time, we don't even know the people's lives we have touched and changed. And we don't need to know because the universe is watching, because God is watching. Just be kind and live in gratitude for yourself that it overflows in your laughter. It overflows in your presence. And when you're walking and you're smiling with strangers, that's how you do it. That's how you live a life of abundance. And then the money will show up because money comes and goes. But you're one. You're unique. So live it well.
And there you go.
Thank you, Tata.
Thank you for coming this morning, everyone, and keep up with that 30-day challenge. We will check back with you. So on, I should have this ready, but what is next week? Next
The
week
10th?
is
No?
the 8th is Tuesday is inspirational role models. Inspirational role models. So we're going to be talking about that because it is National Inspirational Role Models Month as well. So we're going to be talking about role models. So bring a list of the people that have been role models in your life. They could be people, family members, friends. They could be teachers. They could be famous people. They could be people from history. But bring them so that you can put them in there. We would love to have that discussion with you. And then also how they affected you. So we'll make sure we'll bring our list as well. So we want to thank everybody for coming today, and really enjoy your weekend. Any
Yes.
last minute from Gladiator Guru?
No.
No? Okay.
Smile.
So thank you, everybody. And don't forget that 30-day gratitude challenge. Keep up with it. We'll check in with you on that as well. So from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, pa'lante. Remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.